First, Mamaw, start with when you were born.
June 19th, 1935. My dad was a school teacher, and thank the Lord he always had a job. Didn't make much, but at least we survived. But Mother always had a big garden, fed her family well.
Yeah.
And they had an orchard. My dad put in an orchard.
What kind of things did you have?
Okay, I remember plums and pears,
Okay.
and apples, of course.
I know you had pears and plums.
But in that apple orchard, well, we had persimmon trees in that orchard too. See, I had 4 older brothers.
John was the oldest.
And Henry was next. I think Noel was next, and then Amos.
Tell me about, like, the first memory that you can remember.
I was playing in the sand, and I remember seeing this picture that my dad took a picture of me playing in the sand, and I must have been 4. And I loved to play in that sand, and I remember seeing a picture of me. I was holding my hand up like this and pouring that sand out, you know. And I remember the time came that I had to get out of there and quit playing with that because I was using up all the sand.
Did you have baby dolls?
I had two baby dolls, I think. One was Mary, and I can't remember the other one's name. And that was all.
Yeah.
No playhouses. I didn't have anything like that. I didn't have a scooter. By the time that I got up to be able to ride a bicycle, the bicycle was torn up because it had gone through 4 brothers.
What was high school like?
School was my life.
Yeah.
And everybody's too, because we studied. We had lessons to get and reports to write at night. So we had homework to do.
Yeah.
For the most part. And I don't know too many kids. Some of them work, but not very many. My extra time that I had, I was in band, marching band. And so we had to practice, of course, in the fall. After classes, after school, we'd march because we'd play at the football games. That's when we played. And I played trombone. They needed a trombone player, so I was one of them.
Oh, okay.
And I only played it so that I could play in the band and have fun with all the other band people. I was in the high school chorus. I was in the girls' sextet singing group, and I was president of my class in the Methodist Church. I was president of the 4-H club I belonged to, called the Merry Workers. So every extracurricular activity that I did, I wound up being president. I didn't get voted it. Usually nobody else ever wanted the job.
So what sort of things did you do on the weekends?
One thing I started out doing when I was 10 years old, I started cleaning the house on Saturday mornings.
Okay.
Mother worked so hard in the garden and in the housework, you know, canning and all that kind of thing, that she just couldn't keep up with having everything sparkling clean and all. So I thought,
anytime it goes to something you can
well,
just
I can do
press
that. My dad and I never talked. I always went to school with him and I came home with him. And he was probably so tired and weary of talking and teaching all day.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was grumpy and tired, and you know, so we didn't feel like talking that much. But
sure.
I wish we had been closer. But you have to understand, I was a bratty kid. I was very rebellious. It's a good word for me.
Did you get an allowance?
Well, Amos and I started getting an allowance of 25 cents a week. I think we got the same amount sometime during the Second World War. And I don't know why my dad did that, unless it was to try to teach us, you know, what a quarter was worth.
What would you buy with that 25 cents?
Yeah, I remember it was piano lessons. And Mother had dearly wanted all of her children to take piano lessons because she had wanted to, and she had no money to. Mother came from a very poor home. I'd go up there, and what did I have to pay? Was it 25 cents or maybe 10 cents to ride 5 miles into the town of Rockville, where I got off the bus, went to the piano teacher's home, and she taught me for a half an hour, and it was sure hell for both of us.
Oh, goodness.
All because my mother had always wanted to take piano lessons.
Yeah.
But after that torture was over with, she breathed a sigh of relief because she got one of my classmates who loved the piano and was very good at it. And I got to go out and go up to the drugstore and get a 5-cent ice cream cone.
Did you guys only have one car?
It was a Model A Ford, black.
Did you do like your makeup, or was that a big thing when you were a teen, or not really? Like dressing up?
Oh yeah, we had all kinds of makeup and rouge and eyebrow pencil. And
what's rouge?
eyeshadow. Right in here.
Oh, blush, okay.
Mostly when we became sophomores,
Yeah.
we girls, we started using a little makeup. The fast girls used a lot of makeup.
What does that mean? Fast.
Well, she prayed in front of everybody and thinks she was big stuff.
Oh,
Go out
okay.
neck with the boys and do
Yeah.
some other stuff with the boys.
The promiscuous girls.
Yeah, I should have told you that word first, but
So tell me about your very first boyfriend. How old were you? What was his name?
okay. My very first one's name was Billy Sowers, and
Okay.
we were in the 3rd grade.
Oh gosh, that's young.
And in about a week, it was be another guy, you know.
Oh yeah.
But we had really nice kids in my class.
So who was the first person that you like went steady with, or was that just Papa?
No, I didn't meet him till about 4 or 5 years later. I went with a neighborhood kid that whose parents moved over from Illinois, and they bought my grandfather's old house and rejuvenated that. So I lived just down the road around the corner from where he did. When I first met Papa was when I went to Purdue, my freshman year. The year was 1953.
Okay.
The fall of 1953.
And Papa was going to the same school?
Yeah, he was going to Purdue, and I lived in the dorm.
Oh, okay.
The women's dorm, which was segregated,
Mhm.
thank God. And I went into a room to visit with the girl, and she had, believe it or not, the picture of Papa sitting on her chest of drawers.
Uh-oh. Was that Papa's girlfriend?
Well, it was the girl he dated.
Oh, okay.
And he said, well, I don't remember that. He says, I don't remember
He doesn't remember?
the picture. Well, that's what he says. But anyway.
So when did TVs come out? How old were you?
I remember seeing the first TV that we saw was in the storefront window of our little town, Rockville. My mother had always been interested in home economics, and she had wanted to go to college to become a home economics teacher. But she became ill with tuberculosis when she was going into her freshman year of school. So she had to drop out, go to the hospital, and be there for, I think, about 13 months.
Wow.
Until she was sent cured at home. But she had become a dedicated Christian, and she said the Lord healed her.
So what was like a normal dinner like at your house?
We had wonderful food to eat because it was out of the orchard, it was out of the garden, it was out of the hen house, it was out of the big pen.
Yeah.
And the cow stable.
Okay.
So we all had good natural meat.
Yeah.
As well as vegetables and fruits. We had the whole gamut there, and eggs, of course. So we were brought up healthy with good, strong bodies. We didn't finish with my meeting your granddad.
So you were in that dorm room of Connie or whatever her name was?
Maybe. I don't know. Seems like
She doesn't matter now.
she had that picture staring at me as I walked in the room, and I thought, boy, he is good looking. I said, who is this guy? And so she told me his name and all, and I said, is he a steady?
Now what does that mean?
Going steady means you don't go with anybody else. And she kind of grinned. She said, well, I would like to go steady with him. I had a blind date with Sharon Stutler and her boyfriend that she later married. And we were going one weekend, Labor Day weekend I think it was, to one of their fraternity brothers' wedding. We went to that wedding and then made plans to go the next day to a cookout at Turkey Run State Park. So I was to make the barbecue for the sandwiches. Didn't make enough, but didn't realize it. But anyway. So the other 3 couples that were with us were going very steady. So anyway, we said, okay, well, sure. I said, well, yeah, I'll go with you.
So you guys didn't like each other that very first meeting?
That's right, that first meeting. But as we were leaving the park, the state park, that next day, The other 3 couples were smooching, that kind of thing, and so Bill leaned over and kissed me.
But you didn't even like him?
I didn't until that kiss.
That's funny. So then after that kiss, then what happened? The sparks flew?
It did just immediately. Because, and I'll tell you, when the other 3 couples went with us, they went for a walk in the woods, and this was getting dusk. And they left the other me sitting there on top of the picnic table and thinking, what are we going to do for a half hour, you know? And because they said, well, we'll be back in an hour or something.
Yeah.
You know, and Bill thought that too. I mean, you know, he didn't like me any better than I liked him.
Yeah.
So then we started to talk about different things and what we wanted out of life and about our bringing up years and our parents and just really got down to good conversation. And right there then we began to see that we really liked each other.
How long were you together before you decided to get married?
That was Labor Day, 1955.
Okay.
To Labor Day, 1956.
So about a year.
Is when we were married. Both he and I now were anxious to get out into the world and to go discover the world.
Yeah, of course.
We didn't want to stay in little piddly Rockville, Indiana.
Yeah.
Indiana, you know, for the rest of our lives.
Sure.
Go out and visit. So that's what we did.